Okay, welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. So, it's been 25 years since Mortal Kombat came out as a movie, and back then, I liked it and its sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You know what? They're turn your mind off movies just to watch and whatnot nowadays. But back then, I really liked them. But now, with a more critical eye, I watch them. Whew. Yeah, they're shit. They're shit, basically. But let's get into it, folks. First with Mortal Kombat, I gotta say, some of the casting, not good choices. These digital effects, certain digital effects were just god-awful. Practical effects were a little bit better. The fight scenes, certain fight scenes were very good. Other fight scenes, not so much. The good fight scenes was Johnny Cage versus Scorpion, Robin Shao, who was Liu Kang, versus Sub-Zero, and Liu Kang versus Reptile. It happens to be with only the ninjas that were the best fight scenes, because they were fast-paced, they were quick, they were really done well. Now, that doesn't mean that there weren't flaws in those fights. After Scorpion takes off his mask and reveals the skull face, that's where it all went to shit. The look that Sub-Zero gave after he got killed was just weird. Scorpion, or the tail end of the Reptile fight, not Scorpion, but Reptile fight, was also at its weakest. The Shang Tsung versus Liu Kang fight was one of the better fights too. But other than that, all the rest of the fights, no, they were not good. The first mistake of this movie was that it was PG-13, same as Annihilation. If these movies were rated R and allowed to have gone as far as they could with the gore and whatnot, would have been better. But unfortunately, they couldn't. Now, the casting for Mortal Kombat 1 was good. They used all good names. Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung, he was brilliant. They have him in Mortal Kombat 11 as Shang Tsung. Christopher Lambert as Raiden. Back then, Christopher Lambert was the name to put in a movie. But him as Raiden, I'm like, not really buying that one. But he does it so freaking campy and well. It's like, the fate of billions rests upon you. Sorry. And then it's like, wow. Okay. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, why don't you tell me what you're gonna do about them? I don't think so. It's just like, wow. All the campiness, it was just great. Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, I thought was very good. However, I could tell that it wasn't him fighting in certain scenes. It was just the up-closes that he did, for the most part. Robin Shao was good as Liu Kang. Bridget Wilson, as hot as she is, I wouldn't have cast her as Sonya Blade. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have. Back then, you know what? I don't even know who I would have cast as Sonya Blade, but her acting just didn't feel like Sonya. The guys that they got for Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile were very good. Chris Casamassa as Scorpion, Francois Petit as Sub-Zero, and Keith Cook as Reptile. I thought those guys were very good. But this movie had very bad effects. Goro was god-awfully done. It was basically a puppet, a mixture of puppetry, I'm guessing, and some CGI, I'm guessing. But mostly puppetry. And God, it was just so horrible. Now, there was CGI definitely for certain shots with Goro, but this movie was meant, or it should have had a serious tone for Mortal Kombat, and instead they made it fucking campy as hell, and it was the biggest mistake that they made. Paul Anderson, who did this movie, directed it and whatnot, he did the Resident Evil movie and AVP, which goes to tell you why it wasn't that good. He does good sci-fi movies, subjectively, and moviegoer, but objectively, oh my gosh, this is just god awful. Now, that movie was decent. Annihilation? Holy shit, what did I watch? That was bad dubbing. Bad dubbing. And bad audio. The movie was completely out of sync. It's like, what the fuck is this? Robin Shou and Talisa Soto were the only people to actually return to this movie. Lyndon Ashby, Bridget Wilson, they didn't come back. They were replaced by Sandra Hess for Sonya and Chris Conrad for Johnny. And they killed Johnny Cage in the beginning of this movie. Also, why are they showing Jax as a woman? Last time I checked in that movie, Jax was a guy. Lynn Red Williams? What? Anyway, probably is a transgender. I don't know. Brian Thompson as Shao Kahn. Yikes. It could have been way better. I mean, yikes. Rainer Schoen as Shinnok was terrible. Musetta Vander as Sindel could have been way better. Oh, it just goes on and on, folks. It just seriously goes on and on. I mean, at least they did a better job with Scorpion. They made him look like freaking Scorpion. Yeah, this movie, it was just god-awful. The Smoke fight, however, between Smoke and, goddamn, Liu Kang. Sorry, I blanked for a second there, folks. That was decent. I mean, there were some decent parts, but not enough to save this movie. Who was the director? Ray Park. He also played Baraka. Holy crap. He also played Raiden, or the double for Raiden, or his fight double for the movie. This one was directed by John Leonetti, and I'm like, this was it. They should not have done this movie. Holy crap, they should not have done this movie. But they did, and people suffered horribly. But yeah, this movie, or the second movie, was just god-awful. I mean, they introduced the animality, for Christ's sake. And I'm like, no, please don't do that, no. I mean, the story was kind of intriguing, but also just god-awful. This movie was just bad. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was just bad. I mean, if I had to give it an objective score, we'll start with Mortal Kombat first. Objectively, Mortal Kombat is like a fucking 2.5 out of 5. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. That's me being generous, by the way. Subjectively, it's an 8 out of 10. I liked it. It was entertaining. Moviegoer, it's 9 out of 10. Annihilation, yeah, 1 out of 5. Yeah, 2 out of 10. Annihilation was bad. Like, fucking bad. Subjectively, I would give it a 4 out of 10. And, yeah, moviegoer, I would give it a 5 out of 10. It was just that bad. I'm sorry, it was. And if hopefully this remake that they got coming whenever might be good, and it better be rated R, because holy crap, don't ever rate these movies PG-13 again. Anyway, folks, that's going to be the reviews for both Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. With an objective eye, nowadays these movies are god-awful, but with, or back as a kid, yeah, I liked them. Anyway, that's going to be the review. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of these movies? Did you like them? Did you not like them? What was your favorite fights? What did you think of Annihilation? Anyway, folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.